let's do some news of the day, shall we? Alrighty, news of the day, and we've got some injury news here that's not fantastic. Alex Kerfoot apparently suffered an injury November 5th versus LA, and it caused him some discomfort, dental fractures. And so he went in and he had surgery to have those repaired, and it's an indefinite return. It just all sounds really, really uncomfortable. Dental fractures doesn't sound the same as just you got a tooth knocked out. It sounds a lot more like, it gets cracked in half and the nerves exposed, and just I have all these images of that. Just sounds awful in my head. So hopefully, rapid recovery for him, and for Leaf fans, it's good. That's another injury for us. Now, this was something we talked about 3 or 4 scandals ago. The Austin Matthews one, in which case, there's people on each side of that one, and so it's been dismissed. There was a settlement between both sides. He came out and apologized yesterday, and either yesterday or this morning, and it's done. So that's the end of that. They reached a settlement, and that's kind of how these things end up working. And again, it's a misdemeanor, so I'm sure that from the city's point of view, it's like, let's just not have this go through an expensive procedure thing and just get it finished. So it's done. Austin Matthews come out and apologized, and it's gone away. Case dismissed. Okay. Officially, it's case dismissed. TJ Brodie, he collapsed at practice yesterday, and I got a lot of messages on it. I didn't do a video specifically on that because I didn't feel like when we didn't know what happened, that it would just be worthy of, hey, there was TJ collapsed. We don't know why yet. So we still don't know exactly why. Brad Treliving has come out and said he will leave no stone unturned in figuring out what's going on. And of course, that makes sense. General manager, you want to know what's going on with your players. And they've apparently ruled out a lot of the more serious possibilities. Because as soon as I heard, I thought, okay, that sounds like an epileptic seizure is what it sounded like to me. Because those can just done. I've been through that. Those are... It can be terrifying to witness that kind of thing, and in this case, from what was said, it was just a terrifying moment. But what they're treating it as now is it was some kind of a fainting spell. They're just trying to find out what would cause him to faint on the ice like that, so they're looking at different issues. But apparently they've ruled out most of the brain stuff, so they would have been looking for anything that might have caused that sort of a seizure, epilepsy, and all that other wonderful stuff that it can get scary pretty quick when you're talking about the brain. So at least it sounds like it's nothing major. But again, we don't know exactly what it is yet or a timetable for return for Brodie. Wish him all the best. Hopefully he's okay soon. Speaking of guys who get hurt, Tomas Hertl in last night's game went out. He was hurt in a collision with Sam Steele. Apparently, may have injured his leg on the play, and we don't know how long he's going to be out or if he's going to be out at all. But he did not finish the game last night. So again, it's one of those hopefully he's okay situations. Jacob Trouba injured last night against the Bolts. So I looked around, and while one website saying there's no update yet, there was news out of New York as well that they think he may play tomorrow. They're hoping he plays tomorrow, which tells you it's not major. So there was no play that I saw that it happened on. I didn't see any report of here's exactly what happened, but they're saying he might play tomorrow. They're being kind of secretive about it. And last night, Capo Caco had a really good night, much better than his teammates. He missed the game with the flu. Probably while dealing with flu symptoms, thinking, that 9-3 game, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed that much anyways. All kidding aside, of course, watching that, it would have been killing him, because it would have been one of those situations where you'd think if I'd been in the lineup, maybe I could have made a difference. But, it's one of those games for the Rangers, and it's a take it slow and wait and see kind of thing, and that's what happens when you're going through a retool. It's not a rebuild, call it a retool. For Avs fans who are looking for good news, Nikita Zadorov may play tomorrow in Vancouver. Not only that, but Francouz, who's been in concussion protocol, he may play tomorrow as well. They're not giving much news on him other than it's day to day. So at the very least, he's not on the injured reserve at this point, and it sounds like he may be back in tomorrow night's game, and that would be good news, especially since Grubauer's not back yet. So they're down to their number 3, and it reminds me of Vegas 2 years ago, how they were down to like their number 5 goaltender. And eventually, everybody gets healthy. You come through this, it can be to the benefit of the team. Really brings a team together and galvanizes them. Vegas went to the Stanley Cup final in 2017 after dealing with all those goaltender injuries. So you just never know. Colorado was my pick to go to the finals this year. I would still pick them to end up going to the finals this year. And they have to be healthy to do it. But all these injuries they're going through early may be the best thing that happened to them. They may say that in June. Jordan Martinook is returning for Carolina. Therefore, they have placed Brian Gibbons on waivers again. They did it before the season. They're doing it again now. I don't see any reason Gibbons won't pass through waivers unless there's a team somewhere that says, hey, he's better as an option for our 13th forward or for our bottom 6 than who we currently have. He scored no points in the 11 games he played for Carolina. And now with Martinook returning, we'll see how that positively affects things for Carolina. And also on the returning front, Logan Brown returning tonight for the Ottawa Senators. And so that means that when dealing with scoring plays from Brown, I have to mention whether it was Connor or Logan. I try to do that anyways, but we're going to be doing that again. So with Logan Brown back, does that make things better for Ottawa? I think so. I like Logan Brown. I think he's a good player. Does he play the rest of the season in Ottawa? He may end up spending time in the American League, but overall, I think his trajectory is still pretty solid. Not all rookies come into the league and tear things up. Not all young kids come in immediately ready for the game. Some of them still take more time. Logan may be one of those guys that just takes him a little while to get there, but eventually gets there. Let me know your thoughts regarding the news of the day. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.